This lesson is a essay called 诗词, so poetry, from this book, chapter 18. The chapter is titled 成语的来源, so the chapter is generally about the origins of proverbs, 成语, and this particular essay is about poetry. So let's take a look at it. So we're going to read this whole thing from start to finish and answer the questions as we go along. So first, let's look at the questions. I realized this morning when scanning it that the first question had been truncated. So we will start by answering this question. But checking out this question and then answering it by reading the text. So the first question is, 静夜思这首唐诗写的是什么? So, 静夜思, this Tang Dynasty poem, what is it about? So let's start by reading the essay. 诗词床前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月，低头思故乡。差不多所有的中国人都会背这首名叫《静夜思》的唐诗。So this is a Tang Dynasty poem titled 静夜思, and just about all Chinese people are able to recite this particular poem. 这首诗是说有一个远离家乡的人。So this poem is about someone who was very far away from their hometown. 一天晚上，他看到窗前一片白白的月光，以为是秋天的霜。So one evening, this person sees a pale moonlight by the front of their bed and initially assumes that it is the autumn frost, 霜。当他抬头看到天上圆圆的月亮的时候，想起了远方的故乡。But when they raise their head, they see the round, round moon, and they remember their faraway hometown. 静夜思是唐朝诗人李白写的。So, this poem is by the Tang Dynasty poet Li Bai, very, very colorful historic figure. So, who's worth looking up in your own time, who was a very heavy drinker, lived and died spectacularly, and I think you'll enjoy reading about them. 中国古代有许多很有名的诗人。So ancient China has very many famous poets. 有许多很有名的诗词 and very many famous poems. 这些诗词有的是描写大自然的风光。So some of these poems are about nature, the great outdoors, for want of a better expression. 有的是赞美纯洁的爱情。Some are in praise of the purity of love, 爱情。也有的是叙述人生的悲欢离合。So we'll answer the first question, which is, as you remember, what is 静夜思 about? So let's type this in Chinese. So, 有一个远离家乡的人。So, someone who is very far away from their hometown. 一天晚上 Let's more or less just paraphrase the text. 他看到窗前 床 is in window. We're looking for 床 is in bed. 一天晚上，他看到床前，一片白白的月光。原来他以为是我。抬头以后，看到月亮，就想起老家，我家乡。That's it. Correct answer. So, 静夜思这首诗，这首唐诗写的是什么？有一个远离家乡的人，一天晚上，他看到窗前一片白白的月光，原来他以为是霜。抬头以后看到月亮，他就想起家乡。Question 2. 什么是悲欢离合？ So we've just come across this. Well, it's in the glossary right here, so we suppose we'll come to this in a sec. 悲欢离合。So this is it right here. Bei Huan. So some ancient poems are about nature, the great outdoors. Some are about love, and others describe life's Bei Huan Li He. So we'll read on for a little bit. 红豆生南国，春来发几季，劝君多采撷，此物最相思。红豆生长在南方，春天的时候发出几季新芽。你多采一些带回家去吧，这小小的红豆代表着爱的思念。So, was a pretty tricky paragraph here. So, this is a quote from a poem called Hong Do. So, 这首红豆诗是唐朝的另一位诗人王维写的。So, another Tang Dynasty poet, Wang Wei, as almost as famous, if not as famous, as Li Bai. So Wang Wei, and so I'll just type up their name in Pinyin. 这一首表示爱情的红豆诗，千百年来不知道打动过多少少男少女的心。So this poem is about comparing love to a hongdao. So millennia and centuries later, who knew that this poem would still be very touching to young men and young women? So, but let's focus on answering question 2. 悲欢离合. So it's in the glossary, it's described here. So joys and sorrows, separations and reunions. So let's answer this in Chinese. 就是人生的悲伤和欢乐 so sorrows and joys 悲欢分离还有 well, let's just say for now, say 相思, which is in relation to love. 古时候, so in ancient times, 中国有很多关于悲欢，就是人生的悲欢离合的诗。比方说 for example, Wang's 红豆. So in ancient Chinese, one character would normally be one word, whereas in modern Chinese, most words are made up of two characters, sometimes a bit more. So ancient poems like this are particularly hard to translate. But so the Hongdou, the red bean, grows in the south and blooms in the spring. 春天的时候发出几季新芽。你多摘一些带回家去吧。So pick a few and bring them home. And sorry, pick a few and bring them home. 这小小的红豆代表着爱的思念。And these small hongdou, red beans, symbolize the love that you miss. So it's this poem, Hongdou by Wang Wei, as an example of 悲欢离合。第三个，红豆这首诗为什么能打动少男少女的心？ So 红豆, why can this poem still move or touch young men and young women today? So we see this mentioned in the text right here. So 这一首表示爱情的红豆是千百年来不知道打动过多少少男少女的心。因为 so I'd say the answer will be this. 因为红豆代表着爱的思念 because 红豆 symbolizes the absence or the missing of love. So, 因为诗词里 so in the Hongdou mentioned in the poems 代表着爱的思念. I suppose one relevant thing to today's China is the the universality of migration, because China being a huge country that's going through an economic miracle, almost anyone with any ambition migrates and at some point lives far away from their hometown. And these ancient poems have almost taken on a new life in the past 3 or 4 decades because the sentiments expressed in them are particularly relatable nowadays. Next question. Next question. 但愿人长久，千里共婵娟的意思是什么? So this is a text from another ancient poem from the Song dynasty. So question 4, let's go up and find our answer to question 4. 宋朝的诗人, so the Song dynasty poet, 苏轼 The Song Dynasty poet 苏轼写过一首关于月亮的词 wrote a poem about 月亮 the moon. 词的最后一段 so the final passage of the poem 是这样写的 is written like this. 人有悲欢离合 so people will have 悲欢离合月有阴晴圆缺此事古难全但愿人长久千里共婵娟他的意思是说 so this will be our answer 人们有的时候会悲伤有的时候会高兴有的时候会分离有时候会团圆这就像月亮一样 So people will have times of sadness people will have times of happiness people will have times of separation people will have times of being together this is just like the moon 这就像月亮一样有时会遇到阴天 Sometimes it will encounter dark days 有时会碰到晴天 and it will have bright days 月亮有圆的时候 Sometimes the moon is round 月亮也有不圆的时候 Sometimes it's not round 从古到今 from the ancient times to the modern 人们不可能总是高兴的 People cannot possibly be happy all the time 家人不可能永远团聚在一起 Family members cannot always be together 天也不可能总是晴的 The sky cannot always be bright 月亮也不可能永远是圆的 and the moon cannot always be round 但是 but 只要大家都健康的活着 as long as everyone lives healthily 当你我都在看着那美丽的月亮的时候 when you and I are looking at that round moon 即使彼此相隔千里之外 even if we're thousands of miles apart 也好像是相聚在一起的 then it's like we're together so it'll be a very hard question to answer concisely but we'll give it a go so 但愿人长久千里共婵娟 so let's put it like this so 家人不可能永远团聚在一起月亮不可能永远是圆的 So families can't always be together The moon can't always be round可是 but 只要大家看那美丽月亮的时候 So but as long as everyone takes the time to look at that beautiful round moon 即使彼此 even if we are thousands of miles apart It's like we're all together. See if I've typed this up right. So 但愿人长久，千里共婵娟的意思是什么？家人不可能永远团聚在一起 so families cannot always be together. 月亮不可能永远是圆的 the moon cannot always be round. 可是只要大家看那美丽月亮的时候 but as long as everyone takes time to look at the round moon, 即使彼此相隔千里之外 even if we're thousands of miles apart, 也好像是相聚在一起的 then it's like we're all together. Question 5. 人们为什么喜欢诗词? So why do people like poems? Let's see if this is answered in the text. 诗词大都只有短短的几行 So poems tend to only have a few short lines or stanzas. 但是它所表达的含义却很多 But they say a great deal. They have a great many implications in their few lines. 这些优美的诗词不仅可以让你了解到古代的历史和文化 So these beautiful poems, not only can they help you understand ancient history and culture, 而且还可以让你在精神上得到一种美的享受 They can also give you a great feeling in your spirit. 当你在朗诵这些诗词的时候，常常会陶醉在这些美妙的诗句之中。When you're reading these poems, you often feel intoxicated by their splendor. 美妙 so 陶醉 intoxicate 美妙 splendid. So I think to answer the question 5, we'll go for the middle part of that paragraph. So诗词不但 not only or 不仅 help you understand 了解到 ancient history and culture, also can help you so 人们为什么喜欢诗词？诗词不仅可以让 well it says 人们 so 人们了解到古代的历史和文化，而且还可以让人们在精神上得到一种美的享受。And number 6 is a bit more abstract. The answer isn't really in the text. So 你学过哪些诗词 And well, it doesn't even specify whether it means Chinese, so let's play around a bit. 你学过哪些诗词 Some might agree with an English lit, so I've obviously studied all kinds of poems. 我的大学专业是英文文学，所以我学过各种各样 诗词。当我学一门外语的时候，我都埋头自学那门最好，我最有名的诗词。So when I study a foreign language, I always immerse myself in studying that language's most famous poetry. 我最喜欢的中国诗人 well, my favorite Chinese poet, let's just say 我最喜欢的现代中国诗人是奚慕容 so the Inner Mongolian female poet Xi Murong, she is my favorite living poet. 可是我最喜欢的诗歌 my favorite Chinese poem, at least that of the past century, 是有的人 we'll probably have another video on this entire poem some other time. So 有的人 and客家的有的人. So I think my next video of this nature will be an introduction to this poem, 咱客家的有的人. It's about the famous Chinese writer Lu Xun. So, well, to finish off today, we'll just breeze back over the text. So, 诗词窗前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月，低头思故乡。差不多所有的中国人都会背这首名叫《静夜思》的唐诗。这首诗是说有一个远离家乡的人，一天晚上看到窗前一片白白的月光，以为是秋天的霜。当他抬头看到天上圆圆的月亮的时候，想起了远方的故乡。静夜思是唐朝诗人李白写的。中国古代有许多很有名的诗人，有许多很有名的诗词。这些诗词有的是描写大自然的风光，有的是赞美纯洁的爱情，也有的是叙述人生的悲欢离合。红豆生南国，春来发几季，劝君多采撷，此物最相思。红豆生长在南方，春天的时候发出几季新芽。你多采一些，带回家去吧。这小小的红豆代表着爱的思念。这首《红豆》诗是唐朝的另一位诗人王维写的。这一首表示爱情的红豆诗，千百年来不知道打动过多少少男少女的心。宋朝的诗人苏轼写过一首关于月亮的词，词的最后一段是这样写的：人有悲欢离合，月有阴晴圆缺，此事古难全。但愿人长久，千里共婵娟。他的意思是说，人们有的时候会悲伤，有的时候会高兴，有的时候会分离，有的时候会团圆。这就像月亮一样，有时会遇到阴天，有时会碰到晴天。月亮有圆的时候，也有不圆的时候。从古到今，人们不可能总是高兴的。家人不可能永远团聚在一起， 天也不可能总是晴的，月亮也不可能永远是圆的。但是只要大家都健康的活着，当你我都在看着那美丽的月亮的时候，即使彼此相隔千里之外，也好像是相聚在一起的。诗词大都只有短短的几行，但是它所表达的含义却很多。这些优美的诗词不仅可以让你了解到古代的历史和文化，而且还可以让你在精神上得到一种美丽的享受。当你在朗诵这些诗词的时候，常常会陶醉在这些美妙的诗句之中。So we'll leave it at that for today. That's a very brief introduction to ancient Chinese poetry. So remember the names Wang Wei and Li Bai. Look them up. They're very colorful people.